There's this quote that goes as the two most important moments of a person's life is the moment that we are born, and the second is the moment that we find out why. And I don't know where you are on your journey. Maybe you have full clarity of your life path and what you're here to do in this life and what your mission is. Or maybe you're seeking that and you know that there's something that wants to come through you. To inspire you, I want to share the big revelation that I had and how it came to me as my awakening of my purpose. And I had many spiritual awakenings in my life. The spiritual awakening is funny how this journey is not a journey of I had this spiritual awakening and now I'm here. Is we have a spiritual awakening within the awakening within the awakening. And I remember it was during an ayahuasca journey. It was the second night that I was doing ayahuasca in a row. And the whole journey was pretty graceful and I felt like that nothing major would come out of it. And towards the end of the session, the sun was already rising. I was laying there and I would see this beautiful eagle flying in the sky. And I was so connected to the eagle. To the moment that the eagle showed up to me as my spirit animal. And I've never expected that eagle would be one of my spirit animals. And it's funny when I tell this to my relatives and people who I have close to me, they're like, yes, of course the eagle, your spirit animal. But I couldn't see it. And then I see myself in Mongolia riding horses in an open field with an eagle in my arm. And I'm just loving this feeling. And I'm asking myself, why do I love this so much? My dream has always been to go to Mongolia and be with the Mongolian nomads. And that's what they do. They hunt with eagles and they ride horses. And I'm feeling that so deeply. And when I ask, why do I love it so much? The word freedom came to me. And I started bursting in tears. And as I'm crying, why am I crying so much? I've always known that freedom is my main value in life. And notice that the values are so important. When I asked this question, I felt so deeply in my bones, saying, I am finally free. And at that moment, I could feel chains being broken down. And I lived my whole life to that day, for that moment. All these 33 years of my life led me to experience that moment where I was finally free. And in my entire life, I was always seeking freedom. And that's why I lived in over 30 countries. Sorry, I visited over 30 countries and I lived in 8 different countries. And I've created a freedom lifestyle. I created an online business where I'm not attached to any place or location. I work in my own hours and my own terms. And yet, I didn't feel fully free because I was being a slave to my mind. I was being a slave to my programming. And the moment when I tap into this sense of ultimate freedom, I had the download of what I am here to do. And my job that I chose is to free humanity in all levels. There's a lot of truth that we can go into this video about why humanity is still not fully free and why so many of us are still not fully free. But I want to tie this into your purpose and your mission. And I want you to ask yourself, are you fully free? Are you able to show up in social gatherings and just fully be yourself without thinking and over-analyzing what you're doing? Or are you still very self-conscious? Are you able to create content and do not care if it's perfect or not, or do not compare with others and simply be? Do you believe that you can get paid to be yourself? And the reality is that most of us are not able to do that. And that has been my entire life. extremely self-conscious, never being, never really being comfortable in my own skin, always comparing, always being so critical about myself, and never really taking action because I never felt I was there. The moment we can liberate ourselves to be, that's where our true gifts are. So the path for us to find what we are here to do and who we are here to be and what our mission is this journey of tapping into true inner freedom. It's an inner freedom that everything will reveal to you. But I can tell you that your gifts, your talents, and your mission, you already deeply know, you just forgot. And I invite you to remember what that is. Probably as a child, you had nudges of an initiation, of signs, that they stay in our minds, and for some reason, some moments really impact us, really caught our attention. And our job is not to really seek that, is to remove all of the limitations, all of the judgments, all of the comparison, all of the resistance, and the beliefs that are limiting us, so that can come through you. I can tell you that the moment that you find what you're here to do, there is no more second guessing. So if you are doing something, but something still doesn't feel fully aligned and you're still questioning, there's a beautiful butterfly behind the camera. She's there now. You're probably not fully on your path, but whatever you're doing is leading you there. All we gotta do is to keep following our excitement without letting the mind getting on the way. If something excites you and you really want to do it because that is leading you closer to where you are. But always checking in on your intentions. Because if you're doing something and your intentions are coming from a place of fear, we tend to create more fear and more suffering. That is still leading you where you need to be, but through a place of suffering. But if we can move into a place of love, I simply want to do this because I want to experience this in my heart. It's not because I'm scared of not having enough. It's not because I'm scared of what people will say. It's simply because I want, deep in my heart, we start to move through life with more grace, more ease. And therefore, we can tap into our mission with ease and grace. So I want to share with you the main aspects of the inner work that I had to do in order to tap into that. The number one thing that held me back, it was judgments. Judgments, judging myself, what I think it's right and wrong, judging others, where I believe what is righteous and what's not righteous, ego, trying to portray an image that is not fully authentic, and resistance, the fear of the unknown, the fear of losing control of life, which in fact we never have control over life. The only thing that we can control is how we perceive, how we react to things. And here's my questions to you. If there would be no consequences of what you did, what would you truly do? What if you could quit your job and start a YouTube channel and move to Bali and there would be no consequence for that or whatsoever? What would you do? What would you talk about? How would you show up? How would you speak? How would you dress? Who would you be? And then ask, why? Why would I do that? Your excitement is always leading into your highest potential. So follow your excitement and you'll be there. If you haven't found your mission yet, do the work of deconditioning, removing the resistance. If you have found your mission, but you're still not fully showing up, do the work of deconditioning. What are the parts of me that are holding me back? Maybe it's shadow work that needs to be done. Maybe it's inner child and things that have been programmed into our minds and bodies since we were a kid. Maybe it's our own constructs and behaviors. Allow yourself to go really deep within those things without any judgment of if it's good or bad, because everything that happened brought you here today to watch this. And if you're watching this right now, it's because you are ready to step into the leader that you are here to be. You're not going to step into this leader when you are ready. You will step into this leadership and then you will be ready. You will make mistakes. You will have to sometimes go against of things that you said in the past. And that is beautiful. That is a journey of seeking the truth and understanding that we don't know the truth. But the closer we get to the truth, the more free we are, because the truth will set you free, my friends. The intention for me with this video is to spark something within you that will shine the light into the next part of you that you need to shine the light in, so you can step into your full authentic leadership, so you can embody your most authentic self, because that's where your true power hides. All right, I love you so much. And if you like this video, comment below, share with me, that means a lot to me. Subscribe to my channel, follow up with me on Instagram. I'm super generous with my time and my presence, and I genuinely would love to hear from you. Take care.